Okay, folks, this is Wager Detective coming at you. This is October 31st, 2025. Happy Halloween. Going to break down this Memphis versus Rice game real quick. Try to do it in less than 15 minutes and see what we can come up with. I will start off by saying Memphis versus Rice. They're 3-2 all time. All the three games that Memphis has beaten Rice, they haven't covered the total that's set tonight. Which is 13.5. They beat them by 3, 4, and 7, and the two losses against Rice, they lost by 22 and 7, 22 points and 7 points respectively in those games. Memphis is 1-1 at Rice, winning one game by 7 and losing the other one by 22. On the road under Coach Silverfield, since he's been with Memphis. Memphis is 13-14 on the road. They're 7-6 against the spread on the road under Silverfield. 7-6 against that number set tonight of 13.5. When they win on the road, they're plus 16 on average. When they lose, they're minus 7. So between the plus and the minus, they're still about a plus 9. Right off the bat, it's kind of pushing me towards this Rice team. Rice is their offensive coordinator, Cramsey. He's had a great season last year. Memphis, we know what they did with Seth Hennigan as their quarterback. They went 11-2. They were 17th in third down conversion and 20th in passing offense last year, and 26th in first downs. And they're pretty good. They ended up winning the Frisco Bowl over West Virginia, so they're pretty solid. Again, they had Seth Hennigan last year, but again, they're pretty good. On the defensive side of the ball, Jordan Hankins, defensive coordinator, second year as defensive coordinator and linebackers coach for Memphis in 2025. As we get into Memphis and what they've done this year, they're 7-1. Their opponents' records this year is 23-32 on the year. And as we take a look at their game logs, they're coming off the South Florida win, 34-31. They do have 8 turnovers in the year with 6 interceptions thrown, 2 fumble losses. And they primarily get into the end zone by rushing the ball. They got 25 rushing touchdowns to 11 passing touchdowns. And they're pretty balanced attack, but they're definitely skewed to the rush as far as running, averaging 5.4 yards a carry. Defensively, they forced 15 turnovers from their opponents this year, 11 of them by interception and 4 by fumble recovery. As far as touchdowns and what they give up, they've given up 11 touchdowns on the ground, and they've given up only 8 passing touchdowns on the year. Again, they have played teams that have a combined record of 23-32 on the year. Let's look at some of their statistics and see what they've done. Who's doing the damage for them? Sutton Smith's got 6 rushing touchdowns. Brendan Lewis, the quarterback, has 7. He's having a pretty decent year, Brendan Lewis, 6'2", 225. He is in his 6th year senior. Was at Colorado for a few years, was at Nevada last year. And he had 16 touchdown passes and 7 interceptions last year. He's got 10 this year with 4 interceptions, so he's looking to eclipse that total this year. 7.9 yards an attempt and an average of about 205 yards a game. And again, if we look at Memphis, they pass the ball 29 times a game and they rush it 39. So they're attempting to rush the ball 10 more times than they pass it. On the year, again, Brendan Lewis, 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and looks to be a decent quarterback. Sutton Smith is their other running back on the ground. Brendan Lewis with 7. Frank Peasant's got 3. So that's how they're scoring their touchdowns. Receiving the ball, you look at Cortez Bram here. He's leading the conference in touchdown receptions with 7. Okay? And they have 36 touchdowns from scrimmage. On defense, as we look here, tackles for loss, Sam Brumfield leads the conference there with 11, and he also leads the team in sacks with 4.5. They do have 57 tackles for loss this year and 13 sacks, 11 interceptions, and 4 fumble recoveries. I'd like to see what they've done as far as where they're getting these turnovers and who it's been against. Turnovers. Let's see here. Okay. They had 4-1 game here versus Tulsa. Tulsa 2-16, right? So that's not Rice. Rice is sitting at 4-4. So they had 4 turnovers there of the 11, 3 of them interceptions, and then they had 3 turnovers here against Arkansas, which is good. They beat Arkansas 32-31. So they're a pretty decent team, and they're having a great year. Listen, they're right there at the top of the American. They do go against Navy next week, so this game is going to be a look-ahead game for them. Going against Navy, battling for that AAC title or to get into the title spot, and you still got South Florida sitting up top there. So this game is very important to them, but they do have Navy on deck next week. But you can see why Memphis is ranked 25th. Look at their SOS, minus 3.93. 11.32 SRS, simple rating system. So they've played not necessarily the greatest competition, but they're outscoring their teams, at a higher rate than what Navy's doing. So and a tougher schedule. So let's take a look at take a look at this Rice team and what they've done this year. I'm going to try to keep this short, maybe under 10 minutes. We're 6.5 minutes now. Rice this year. Let's take a look. First year coach Scott Abel. Okay. SOS minus 4.39 there. Let's take a look at their schedule, see who they've played. They started off at Louisiana. Let's take a look at their win-loss and who they've played. 2-6. 2-6 there. Houston's pretty good. 2-7, 9-7. They got beat pretty bad there. 9-7. Charlotte not that good. 9-14, 10-14. So 2 bad teams there. Back-to-back weeks. They did beat Charlotte. Then they played Navy. They lost only by 8 to Navy. And Navy, again, like I said, sitting at 7-0. You only lose by 8 there. Florida Atlantic, you lose by 6. Let's see what their record is, 3-5. Not that good. Then you got clobbered by UTSA. They lose by 48 there. They only got 4 turnovers on the year, so that's something to keep note of. They don't turn the ball over that much. And then last week they go to double overtime. They play UConn and they win 37-34 in double overtime. They have 6 passing touchdowns on the year and 16 rushing touchdowns. So both these teams like to run the ball to get into the end zone. Let's take a look at some of their stats, see what they've done this year. Chase Jenkins, 5 touchdown passes, 1 interception. I want to see what year this kid is in. He is a third-year sophomore, and this is primarily, his first year really getting some burn. So he's 8 games, 69% completion percentage. Let's take a look and see what they like to do as far as their players. As far as who's doing what on that team. My phone could go a little faster here. Okay, so you got Chase Jenkins with 4 rushing, Dylan Alexander with 3, Aaron Turner with a couple touchdowns, Quentin Jackson with 6. He's leading the team there. Receiving, they only got 6. Drayden Dickman's leading the team there with 3. He looks to be like their go-to. 292 yards on the year. Outside of that, they're really not passing the ball. Aaron Turner's got probably the second most on the team with 185 yards. They got 22 touchdowns on the year against Memphis's 36. Let's take a look at their defense here. They have 45 tackles for loss, 15 sacks. Look to be pretty solid on defense, pretty comparable to what 30 passes deflected there. Kicking and punting, go to Alex Bachetta leads their conference in yards as far as punting yards, 45 yards a punt, and then their field goal kicker is 6 for 9 from field goal. So not really an explosive team on offense. I mean, if I'm looking at this game, the 13.5 just seems like a lot compared. When you think about, like I said in the beginning of the video, Silverfield is only 13-14 on the road with Memphis in his career on the road with Memphis, and they're 7-6 in those 13 wins against the spread. And you look at how they played historically against Rice. All 3 wins in their 3-2 record have been by 3, 4, and 7, and their 2 losses have been by 22 and 7. And their plus minus when they win by 16. Memphis does under Silverfield on the road, and when they lose by an average of 7. So 16 minus 7 is plus 9. I know that they've been playing good, but I mean, I would lean, especially a team at home coming off a big win at home last week. They're going to be up for this game, and then the look-ahead spot for Memphis, looking towards Navy next week. It is also a short week. It's a Friday game, and Memphis did beat Rice last year by 7. So that was one of the games they beat them, and that was by 7. And if I'm going to look at this game, I think the spread might be a little bit too much now that I've taken a look at it. So I'm going to lean with Rice plus the 13.5 in this game. And I think if they do cover that number, I think this game does go under. So that's my final play here. Wager Detective, October 31st, 2025. We're going to go with Rice plus 13.5, and let's see what that total sits at now. 48.5. I mean, it's a little risky there. It's a little risky to go under that number, considering that under Silverfield, their road totals are averaging between their wins and losses 60.8 and 59.5. It's a tough call. But I'm still going to stick with it. I'm going to say Rice plus the 13.5 is my stronger play, and then the over under. It does seem low, but let's just keep it at that. I'm not going to go with 2 plays here. Rice plus 13.5 is my call on this game. This is Wager Detective, October 31st, 2025, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.